From the studios of Tucson Business RadioX, recorded in the Stewart Title corporate offices on Broadway, you are now listening to The Mark Bishop Show. And now here's your host, Mark Bishop.
And welcome back to another episode of The Mark Bishop Show. St. Rappaport is a relationship photographer, creative journal, expressive arts coach, and founder of Genius Relationships and host of the Life Peaks Relationships podcast. Now, after observing, listening, and connecting with so many couples, ST is on a mission to find out what makes relationships work and how they can become extraordinary. So she's here with me to help as many couples as possible. Welcome, ST.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you, talking to you all the way from England. Now, you utilize your experience and expertise working with individuals, couples, and experts in the field on your mission to help as many people as possible overcome challenges and live the best life possible. Is that about it in a nutshell that I'm to understand?
Yeah, it is. Exactly that.
All right, now you teach that through the power of the non-dominant hand. This is what we're going to be talking about. You gain direct access to your emotions and subconscious mind doing this, which allows you to gain a profound understanding of yourself, others, and any situation you're in. This is what you share with people, right? When you start to work with them to explain how the thing goes down and what's going to happen. Is that basically it?
Mm-hmm. That is it.
So tell us about it then, okay? What does it do? How does this thing work?
So, you know that the brain has two hemispheres, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere.
Yeah.
Now, each side of the brain is in charge of the opposite side of the body. So your right side of your brain is in charge of the left side of your body, and the left side of your brain is in charge of the right side of your body.
Okay, that makes sense so far. All right.
Yeah. Now, the left brain is in charge of all the logic stuff, math, reading, writing, anything that you think logically. The right brain is in charge of all the creative stuff, music, art, drama, and it's also in charge of emotions. So when you write with your non-dominant hand, you're going directly to the emotions part of your brain without all those logic, reasonings, and excuses and things that get in the way of getting the answers that you have inside you.
Okay. So what you're really saying is there's no interferences. There are no hindrances to prevent this coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
So using journaling, photography, and art, you create the space for you to dig deep within and find all the answers that you're looking for. So if I was to ask you simply, what is CJEA? How does that work in a nutshell?
So we do mostly journaling and art with the non-dominant hand to access the subconscious mind and get the answers that you're looking for.
What sort of art do you use particularly?
We use a lot of painting, collage, clay, and photography.
All right. So how can I use this to express my emotions then?
So first, simple, easy. Next time you're angry or frustrated or have a lot of emotion in you and you want to let it out in a healthy way, what you could do is you could take your pen and move it to your other hand, your non-dominant hand, and just scribble. Let all that emotion come out, and because it's your non-dominant hand, you're accessing your emotions really quickly. It's all just going to come flying out, but it's going to be coming out in a healthy way. It's not coming out screaming at people, getting really angry or stuff like that. So it gets on your paper, and then afterwards you're much calmer and you could think and process things through.
Well, most people aren't ambidextrous either. I'm a right hand, so I tend to, always use the right hand. If I do, and I've tested this over the years, if I go to the left hand, I'm lucky to be able to write a word, never mind a whole sentence or anything else. So
yes.
This isn't about writing necessarily. It's about scribbling, right, with the other hand. And you never know what may come out.
Yeah, so it's actually both. We use both of them. And even when you write, it's okay because you're not writing for the writing, or when you're doing the art, you're not doing art for the art. It's the process of it. So as long as you get your answer once you have it out, then you could rewrite it with your dominant hand so you could remember it later. Then you got what you wanted.
How can this help couples then?
So what we do is we go back and forth between the right hand and the dominant hand and the non-dominant hand to be able to use your whole brain, to get the logic part of the brain and the emotions part of the brain. So what we do is you ask questions with the dominant hand and answer with the non-dominant hand without thinking. So let's say a couple is in a difficult situation. They just got into a fight about something. You could start by drawing a scribble, a picture of the difficult situation of the fight that they just got into. Then they're going to ask questions to the picture with their dominant hand, thinking logically. Why did you get into a fight? What triggered you? Why did you get so angry? What happened? Whatever question they want to ask. And then you're going to answer with your non-dominant hand, right? And you're letting your subconscious mind just tell you the answer. So this triggered me because I don't like it when this happens. Continue the conversation. With your dominant hands, you're going to go back and you're going to write, so what don't you like about it? Whatever you want. You're going to go and continue the dialogue till you go and get the answers that you really want and look for. And you can even ask like, what do I do now? Where do I move to? How do I go? And you'll get the answers that you want.
Have you seen, incredible results with couples doing this?
Yeah, incredible results. It's the right description.
I mean, other than throwing bars of soap at each other, or worse, vases or vases, whichever you want to call it, but, pretty dangerous stuff. People get into arguments over and wreck and destroy. Give me an idea of how this would go down if a couple was. How do they do it anyway? If there's still the heat to it, or the tempers are high. How does one approach? How do you go into this?
Right. So at the time of the actual fight, like right this second, like I said before, you'll want to first release that emotion so it comes out in a healthy way. So then all you have to do is just go to the side, take a paper, take a pen, a marker or something, and just scribble that out. After a few minutes of doing that, you're going to be much calmer and you'll be able to actually journal about it and process through what happened and be able to understand yourself better.
Okay, so we have to get to that level. Then we sit down and we agree to do it, right? And you face each other, I take it?
So however you want to do it, you could do it do it separately in two different rooms and then afterwards discuss it. If only one person's in it, because sometimes that's the way it works, not both partners are keen into this, because it's really weird. It is weird. Like, who writes with their non-dominant hand? But it's really cool once you try to do it. So maybe only one partner is willing to do it. They do it, they get a better understanding of something, and then they could go back and discuss it. So whatever works, every couple does what's best for them.
I'm speaking with St. Rappaport. She's a relationship photographer and a CJEA coach. CJEA stands for what again?
Creative Journal Expressive Arts.
Now, does writing with the non-dominant hand help with recovering, for instance, from trauma? Can it work for that?
Sure thing, because you could go back to all those things that are there and they're just covered up and blocked by the coping mechanism that you used over the years and get to the real answer, be able to understand what happened, why you behaved that way, what really triggered you, and go really deep. It takes time. Obviously, it doesn't just happen from one time sitting down and journaling, but you could really heal yourself from it.
Now, you didn't invent this, did you? You're a teacher and a great believer in it, obviously, and a coach in the thing, but you're not the founder of it. Is that right?
No, that it was founded by Dr. Lucia Capacchione, who healed herself from a chronic illness with it, and then afterwards went and did great research, wrote a lot of books on it.
It's fantastic. And how did you come across that? I mean, was it interesting to you, or did you fall into it? Do you think you were led to it?
Yeah, well, I was looking out for it as I was doing photography for couples, helping them get to their ultimate state of love and connection, finding the pictures that represented that, so they hung it up on their wall like a vision board. Yeah, so that was already going on for a few years, and I wanted to take it further and help them be able to really overcome their challenges and have the best relationship possible. So I was looking out for different options and things that could be. And then one weekend there was this woman who stayed by my house, who's also a CGA coach, and was telling me about it. And I was like, okay, this is really interesting. So I write with my non-dominant hand and I get the answers that I've always wanted. I'm going to go and try this out. So I went first for a few sessions myself by her to see if it really works, what happens, and immediately saw results. I was like, okay, I'm going to get trained. And that's how it came. That's what happened.
Amazing. So what is involved with the training? How long does it take?
So before Corona, it was a week training, an intensive week, and then a year of like field work, reports, connecting with people and stuff like that. And then you go back for another week in California. Now it's Corona, they've switched it, and instead of another week in California, because that's not going to happen, they've put it for another 7 months online instead.
Yeah, it's affected everything. There's no doubt about it. Now you live in New York, don't you?
New Jersey, yeah.
New Jersey, okay. New Jersey. And you're over in England at the moment. Are you over there teaching?
You're just enjoying, yeah.
Let's talk about the breakthrough coaching. Based on the CGEA method, you can be guided towards fulfilling your desired goals and achieving self-mastery. All right, now, clarify your areas of resistance and understanding to yourself is a big thing. I mean, everybody's unique. A way of overcoming obstacles is not, the same for everybody, surely. But you can learn to accept yourself for who you are. You can, I guess, ignite your momentum and fulfill your passion. This is what you strive for, isn't it, really?
Yeah. That is.
And it gives for you what? I'm trying to understand what's the buzz for you in this. Does it give perfect results for every couple or for every individual person, or do you have failures?
So the results is based on the person, depending on how much work they want to put in. That's what's going to get out of it. The more you journal, the more you do this constantly, the more answers you'll get. I don't think there's one solution, one method that works for everyone. As long as you try it, see if it works for you, go ahead and do it. Whoever I've come across that actually tried it and did it, it really helped them.
Are you putting some sort of journal or book together on the successes of your results?
Not yet, but maybe one day I'll do that.
How about the ability to heal and stimulate your inner family? Use the power of your non-dominant hand to heal your inner family. What is inner family?
So do you know the concept of the inner child?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we go together with the inner child, we break it up. There's the protective parent, nurturing parent, and all the inner parts, critical parent. And then all the parts of the child, let's say the playful child, the angry child, whatever else there is there. Now, most people don't especially have a very perfect, healthy childhood and have their inner child needs some healing. Through the non-dominant hand, you could actually gain access directly to the inner child and get the answers that you've wanted from that, because you don't have the logic in the way. You have this and you have access to the subconscious mind and get the answers that you want and heal your inner child.
You say most people, it's so sad, isn't it, that so many adults now did have a lousy upbringing, lousy childhood, because it does come out later. The ability to heal and stimulate your inner family, that's obviously a very important thing. I guess one gains a clearer understanding of why you have certain, say, behavior patterns.
Oh, yeah.
Learn to bring more of what you want into your own life. We all carry baggage, there's no doubt about it. And, everything I've read anyway, whether I've gone doesn't matter who, psychiatrist or the world of people I've interviewed over many years, but it all goes back to childhood, it seems. Everything goes back to childhood. Do you agree with that?
I think so. I think we get into certain patterns, we behave certain ways, we become a certain way, unless we purposely break that pattern and very consciously change it. That's what it comes from.
Okay, so if one was to really get stuck into the CGEA method and give it time and be serious about it and work at it, they would really be able to, bring out in themselves more of what they really want in life. Perhaps another way of putting it, maybe what they're destined to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I believe, even before I met this concept, I always believe that you have all your answers in you, right? You're not going to go and tell someone else to do. You're going to help them figure out the answers themselves because they have the answers. Now, how you get access to the answers is many different ways, but through the non-dominant hand, it makes it much easier, and you could get the answers you have inside you, including the answers for your destiny.
Well, ST, that goes along with the theory of we already know everything. Between us and the universe and our God we believe in, whichever denomination, we already all know. It's a case of getting it out of us and finding a way to listen and get it out of us. And what you're saying is that this can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can turn your dream relationship into a reality. All right. Now, big statement. But you can learn how to use photography and collage as a springboard to create a clear vision of what you really want your marriage to look like. Are we talking here like a vision board?
Oh, yeah. So it's like a vision board. Okay. But we go further with it. We make the vision board first of the collage, or I specifically use photography. So it's you yourself in it. And then you journal with the vision board, so you actually understand the vision board on a much deeper level. Why do you put that picture there? Why do you do that? What feelings does it give you? How could you get it? What's stopping you from doing it? All those sorts of things. You could ask the questions with your dominant hand and answer with your non-dominant hand, and really, really understand your vision board so it works for you, not just hanging up on your wall.
So you mix in some journaling and you discover how you can make it all into a reality. It's interesting how you say you use literally use photography versus cutting out, like a normal vision board is something, isn't it? It's geared along the lines of what you want in life. And therefore you would cut out shots of, flash cars or beautiful holiday homes or trips or something like that. Isn't that the normal vision board that people tend to do?
Yeah, that is the norm. And actually CJA is like that. Like during training, that's what we do. But because I came from a photographer's perspective, and I've been doing that vision boards for couples even before this, I added that in. So sometimes we do also collaging with magazines and pictures online and stuff like that. But when we focus on the relationship, when it's it's much more real. You have that real emotion. You have that image that it's really possible for you to be able to do it.
I really like the idea, ST Rappaport, about the couples and helping couples. I mean, 1 in, 50%? 1 in 2 divorces in this great country alone, in the US.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I mean, that's astronomical, isn't it? And with the COVID-19, this pandemic, I've got 2 schools.
I think that number's going up.
Yeah, but I got 2 schools of thought on that one. It wasn't a marriage in the first place. I know the COVID-19 is tough. It's tough for everybody. And what is it doing? You give me your perspective on that. What is the pandemic doing then that wasn't happening before the couples didn't divorce? Give me your perspective on that.
What's your question? Sorry, I don't understand.
Well, as simple as this. Were people staying together although maybe they were unhappy, or they weren't meant to really be together, or they just run out of likes or whatever before the pandemic, but they didn't divorce? Whereas now, because of the pandemic, it's, increasing the expediency of more divorces happening.
Yeah, because everything during the pandemic, and every personality, everything came out, was expanded, was amplified, right? So if you were in a good relationship before the pandemic, you had a better relationship afterwards, or now. We're not after yet. But if you're in a bad relationship, or things were going so well, you always fought, you weren't really together and connected, that just went worse. So that's what, it's actually what I predicted right when it started. I was like, okay, let's watch what's going to happen, because like you said, like, I like watching people.
Obviously.
But then, but after, as the time went on and I saw more, spoke to more people, met professionals, couples, and things like that, I was like, okay,
is there an age, shall we say, is there a specific age group more than others that you found that the CJEA works for?
No, I think I haven't found a specific age. I found it more people who are determined to go and actually do it, because it works like magic, as in, like, it's really cool. You could just write and get your answers, but it takes work. If you want anything in life, you can't just like sit on the couch and like wait for it to happen. So if you're willing to do it, it will work for you best.
Well, I mean, even that's debatable. Some people just can't get off the couch. There is no motivation. There is no life. There is no will to absolutely do anything. Maybe doing this can get to at least that first stage.
Yeah, maybe we could, like, they need something else first, or maybe you do different things, like you do easier things, not so much the journaling, but rather playing with clay. That's really easy. You could take a piece of bowl and play with the clay while you're on your couch, and do that also.
Okay. You can turn, your dream relationship into a reality. You believe in that. You can learn how to use photography and collage that springboard to create a clear vision of what you really want. I mean, it sounds possible. A lot would say, oh, it's garbage,
Yeah. And it's I agree. It sounds crazy, but if you really want it, going back to what I said before, you're going to find a way to make it work. As long as you're determined, you'll find the tools, you'll come up with answers. If you're not sure what to do, you're going to ask, right? If you know this method works, you're going to make the method work for you. So you want to know how to do something, you want to know where to go, you're stuck, your relationship is in a really bad place, then you're going to ask, you're going to journal, how could I go about this? And through that, it would lead you to more ways and places and people for you to get that relationship.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I don't think it'll ever put out, marriage counselors or psychiatrists or psychologists. It'll never put them out of work. But if it can help along the lines like you're saying, boy, it can do wonders for couples, which in turn is better for families, better for children.
And then hopefully their children have better childhoods.
Oh, my word. It's amazing. So, okay, now any listeners right now say to me, Mark, well, where can I see this thing? What can I do? Where can I read about ST Rappaport? What do you recommend now for people to go to be able to meet you, albeit electronically, but to be able to perhaps watch what you do? Is there a way of doing this?
Yes, so I actually give free mini sessions for people to start, because I feel once you have the tools to actually go and start it, you could go and do it. You could go to lifepicksrelationships.as.me and I'd love to speak to you.
Hang on. Let's do that nice and slowly. You've got a lovely diction, but say it again slowly.
Lifepix, LIFEPIX, relationships with an S.
.as.me.
Yep.
I've never seen that before. What's the AS and the ME?
It's just a scheduling link. That's just that part of it that goes to there, so you could get your session. That way you could get your session.
Okay, all right. What about YouTube? You've got a YouTube channel, right?
I actually don't.
Okay, it was the founder, I think, is what you're referring to. I beg your pardon. That's right. What is her name again?
Lucia, Lucia Capacchione.
Lucia Capacchione. She's Italian.
Yeah, she is.
All right. I must admit, I did look at that before while I was preparing for your interview, but she's a nice lady. Do you have her YouTube channel address?
Yeah, it's Lucia Capacchione.
Okay. So people would like to see that, then they go to HTTPS, the whole semicolon thing, www.youtube.com/channel/UCK. Is that right?
Yeah.
I will get to her. Yeah, I mean, Lucia, there's not many that Lucias I wouldn't think, but you'll find it on YouTube anyway. And that's good. What about you?
Google, you'll get tons of stuff. Mm?
What about you? Somebody would like to speak to you, maybe about coaching, maybe about teaching. Where do they contact ST?
They could go back to that link that I gave you before.
Okay.
If you want to stalk me stalk me online, the best place to do that is probably LinkedIn.
All right, so you're on that. But yeah. That is that's your website URL is LifePix Relationships, all one word, lifepixrelationships.as.me. All right. Wow, fascinating. I love to hear about this isn't so much a new invention, but I'd love to hear about alternative healings, alternative methods that get results. I mean, there's a lot of witchcraft out there, and there's a lot of, would-be's if could-be's. And
you don't know it provides results until you tried it. So when you've tried it, let me know, and then you can tell me that you gave your results.
My word, it is. Well, thank you, ST, which is short for, you say it.
ST Rappaport with the ESTY. Yeah, just write it ST.
Rappaport, but she goes by ST. Relationship photographer and CJEA coach. Fascinating interview. Thanks for the time you've given us, and over there in London, I appreciate it. And I wish you well with your career back in the States in Jersey. And
thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. Thank you, ST. Goodbye now.